Michael O'Leary, first quarter was nothing short of sensational. Probably in and out of the game, as was little brother Sean. I thought he was in and out of the game in the second quarter, but tried very hard, and I think that's where they sit at the moment.
Well, it's the start of the second half. It's 10-10 to 6-10. The last goal from James Naylor was actually disallowed in that first half, so it's 4 goals of difference, not 3. It comes to Mark Buckingham in the first 30 seconds towards Intervong at half forward. And it's bottled up at half forward. The umpire lets it go. I think he might have to come in and bounce the ball now. He will.
Young Intervong, first name is
Kiao.
Kiao. Very, very good player. Pity he didn't have another couple of inches on him, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Falls out to the back of the pack. Burns. That's Mark. Short little kick vision towards Jones. And also Lewis is out there. Good shepherd on Buckingham. So Lewis can run away. Go towards the wing. Evans over the back. Can he keep it in front of him? No, he can't. He's pushed off it there by Hanussen. And it is out of bounds now. And will be thrown in.
Afternoon tea, very enjoyable. I'd like to thank the North Geelong committee for their efforts there, and again point out the fundraiser on the 23rd and 24th of May. If you're looking for something to do, come down and cheer the boys on for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Now it's Buckingham, handball blindly. Burns chops it off. Intervong got support. O'Leary, and now it's Michael, goes long towards brother Sean. Good little nudge. Yep, play on. Now O'Leary, good little vision around the corner. Loughton, if it sits for him, it might bounce through for a goal anyway. Oh, it has. If you don't mind. And
mate, as you said earlier, you stick Sean O'Leary 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 metres out in front in a set shot, and it's 50-50. Any other time, if he's got the ball and he's in kicking range, he's pretty deadly. That was a fairly good goal there by Sean O'Leary.
So they go to 11-10. 76, Eastern Suburbs. And they lead North Geelong 6-10-46. So 30 points of difference now.
I did get a comment from the chairman of the Interleague at the half-time break. He wanted to know, or could I please explain, why the North Geelong forward line, all 3, 4 or 5 of them, all stand in the 10-yard square. I said, I don't know. Here's a ploy, obviously.
Well,
lets them lead out, and when they've got control of the ball like they have there through Malcolm Key, and then pushing the ball on through the number 23 there in Stuart Marnie, it gives them the ability to be able to set up plays. They kicked a little straighter. That left footer off Marnie's foot went through the far side point post, and records 1 point for the North Geelong side. Stefanowski looked to kick it out fairly quickly, which is unaccustomed to what he normally does. Does so anyway, and gets the ball over to where it's been picked up by Shane Bailey. Bailey plays back on through Stefanowski. Stefanowski just looks across, says there's no one there, so I'll look for the safety of the boundary line. Doesn't find it. Number 37 there, I think it's that's the other young Burns, isn't it?
Yep.
For the North Geelong side, gets the ball back into the centre of the ground. Darryl Jones looks to have a ping at goal and just pushed off the kick at the last second, and the ball's been taken in the last line of defence by Scotty Ferguson. Ferguson looks down the ground. There's plenty of players there for the Eastern Suburbs side, and Shane Evans takes a mark and pushes the ball around the far side of the ground. Punched over by Alfie Delamonica. Ball picked up there by the number 8, who's Andrew Hill. He handballs it over again. The ball's smothered, and Hill tries to make amends for a little error of judgment.
And I think Darryl's just a little bit frustrated because that goal wasn't allowed before half-time.
He's not happy. He's had a chat to the boys in the middle a couple of times, and that's not going to get you nowhere.
It goes up towards Pickersgill at centre wing for Eastern Suburbs. Lockwood ripped off the footy. Peters has got support from Pickersgill. Heard the call from O'Leary, so go in the footy. And now O'Leary goes to Pickersgill, who went on centre wing. Kick around the corner. Oh, Harrington lost it in the sun there by the looks of it. O'Leary and Loughton. Handball around the corner to Sheridan. Attacks the footy and then loses it. Gibbs is there with him and gets it away. Only as far as Camerotto. O'Leary gives him the lead, and so does Sheridan. He goes towards the coach, and he takes the mark at centre half forward on 50.
And wouldn't you go towards the coach?
Exactly, I've got a game next week. Now Sheridan, you'd nearly back him from here.
Probably kicking. He'd be kicking from 50.
Yep. comes in. He's kicked 2 goals this afternoon. Good kick, Loughton. It's still there.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, touched. Oh, well, it's still in the field of play, isn't it? No, it's been touched, but... Oh. I didn't think that had gone over the line.
No, I didn't think it did. From where we sit, I suppose it's a bit hard because we actually can't see the line across the ground.
It's 11-11-77 to 6-11-47, back to 30 points of difference. Oh, Marnie gets in trouble. O'Leary, torpedo punch straight through for a goal, if you don't mind.
Well, I really can't blame Marnie then. I thought the kick out from the North Geelong player, I think it might have been Gibbs. It was only a little short pass and it bounced in front of Marnie and put him under a bit of pressure. Couldn't control the ball, spilled over to O'Leary, and thank you very much. Probably not needed at this point for the North Geelong side. It could mean something like a drop your bundle. They're having a few problems in the centre of the ground, getting control of the ball through Reuter, and the guys that were chipping in and out, Burns and co, aren't really pinching the ball off the ruckwork of Reuter. Now I think that's been fixed up with some man-ups, a bit more closer attention. Reuter gets the ball down, Jones can't get control of it. O'Leary tries to, Camerotto comes out with the ball, gets the ball over to where Irving picks it up, runs inside 50, takes a bounce, can't control it. Inthavong comes through,
got his head ripped off,
and that was very gutsy play. Could have done any amount of damage there. Takes the free kick, plays on very quickly.
Oh, good play.
And a good little short pass, and it's been marked there by Loughton, I think.
Pretty polished play by guys. Only had his head ripped off, gets a free kick, and then has the presence of mind to short pass it to a bloke who was running back. Stood
up very well under a bit of love and attention from the Magpie boys there.
So it's 12-11-83 Eastern Suburbs, North Geelong 6-11-47. Loughton, who's kicked 3 goals, 1 this afternoon.
And he won't miss this.
Going for goal number 4. Peter's put the Peter McKenna Moz on him. Straight through the middle. Umpire does not move.
He's already kicked one from there, and I nearly chipped in and said it's from the wrong side of the ground for him, but I think the young fella doesn't really matter too much where he is. He's a very dedicated young bloke and measures off his footwork very, very well.
So it's 13-11-89 Eastern Suburbs, and they've opened up a big break now. North Geelong 6-11-47.
Richard Osborne looks like he's coming onto the ground.
That's
Look-alike.
actually Mark Scott coming on for Steve Westcombe. And back to the centre. Weiss against Reuter. Reuter thumps it away towards Camerotto, and
well done.
Coming right off the half-back line there was Walsh. Goes towards half-forward. Stefanovski kicks it, a tumbling punt towards half-back. Pickersgill leads in the race of the ball against Marnie. Had a bit of a tussle there. Goes out towards Shorty Peters, who sits, waits, turns, does everything except handball it to Reuter. Goes towards Delamonica, shovels it out towards Sheehan at half-back. Little kick around the corner. Burns drops the mark, but good recovery. Then drop the footy. Hill, good play by the big man. 1 against 3, does extremely well for the Eagles on centre wing. Holding it up against 3 Magpies. And we'll have a ball up on centre wing.
Hill could be a good pickup for the Eastern Suburbs side. He's a fairly big lump of a lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is, and this is another big lump of a lad. Camerotto gets the kick around the corner, only as far as Burns. Kicks it back in board. Buckingham from behind. Oh, Stan, yeah, paid the mark. Walsh did well. Stood his ground. And has it just inside the centre square. Measures the pass. It's okay to Harrington, who's up the ground now. Looks maybe on centre wing or half forward. Good kick too wide. Play on the call around the corner. That's Gibbs. Good kick to Lockwood. That's better play. And Michael O'Leary's down on half forward. Cramp. Goes back in board towards Harrington. Off the back of the pack, Gibbs. Turn around the corner. Into the 10-metre square. Big pack in front. Stefanovski, Naylor. About half a dozen hands on the ball. And then close to the boundary line. It's still in, and it will be a ball up in the right forward pocket for the Magpies.
Mick might be suffering from cramp from standing around a lot in the last couple of weeks.
So it looks like O'Leary may come off. And getting a chance, Simon Sheehan. Now the kick has come towards the defensive 50 for the Eagles. There's 1 against 2 there. That's Irving fighting against Naylor. And it's been held on. Steve-O, stand in the 1 spot, please. Don't do that. And it's going to be a ball up. In fact, a boundary throw-in. Just inside, in fact, at 50 for North Geelong, attacking to the northern end of Osborne Park this afternoon in this third term. It's 13-11 playing 6-11. And a big pack around the ball. And I think we might be waiting for a couple of spectators to get over the fence, are we? There's going to be a ball up now. Marnie coming off. Reuter down the back of the pack. Camerotto, Naylor. Handball to nobody in particular, only Stefanovski. And Jacko sees it over. Shui Marnie coming off the ground. And Osaka's coming on. And O'Leary being carried off the ground. And I hope that is just cramp. Simon Sheen coming on. So Sheen coming on. Ask him what he's done, Pete. Delamonica.
No, I do think it's
outside
only
50, only cramp.
It's only cramp, yeah.
Getting old, Mick, getting old. Coming out now into the middle of the ground. Goes towards Sean O'Leary. He breaks one tackle and then gets the kick away on centre wing. Irving tries to push his opponent under the ball. Can't do so. Walsh does well. He's dragged off the foot. He's got some support though. Kick back in. Border's okay. Burns says leaves it from Jones and then he gets it. Gets a short kick away towards Walsh. Leaves it behind. Stefanovski and Evans now. Evans on hands and knees. Can handball good to Pickersgill. Oh, can he handball to Peters? Yes, he can. Oh, sets Shorty a bit of a task. It sits for him. And Shorty, oh, ran into Lewis. Didn't see him. And then turned around and has dropped the footy. Goes on now. Welsh towards centre half forward. And it's taken a mark. Is Lockwood breaks away from Delamonica. Kicks the goal.
And that's a good goal.
Yeah, he's got a bit of class, this kid.
That's three, I think, isn't it, mate?
That's three. Three straight. Just seems to know what to do when he's got the footy.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He's got a lot of talent, and at 18 or 19 years of age, just makes you wonder how long before he gets looked at by some of the other clubs around the place. Good to see the black and white running through some young fellas' veins, though.
Well, he's been looked at by an interleague selector anyway, and I'm very impressed. I must tell you, Tassie has told me about this kid, and he hasn't done much wrong today.
I do realise Mr. McClure is here from the interleague today.
Good on you, Walker. Weiss and Reuter back in the middle. Reuter takes it out of the ruck on this occasion. Burns partly smothers his kick. Sheen just on the ground for Michael O'Leary. Can't take it away. Key can. Left foot kick towards centre forward Ferguson and Stefanovski. They look at each other and they do beat Naylor. Handball across half back to Evans, who has to sit and wait. Breaks a tackle. Breaks two. Handball back towards Bailey. Just under a little bit of pressure there, but that's okay.
Yeah,
they get
handball.
away. Handball to Pickersgill. He's got a 5 or 10 and a bit of time to set something up. Goes long towards Loughton, who's got 7 on him by the looks of it. Oh, Nickel had his name written on it from the time he went for the footy and took the mark at right half back. And Rory Nickel now goes towards half back. Bailey called Jones out there and said, I've got it. So he did.
And
Jonesy left it.
Pretty ordinary kick, though.
Yeah, it was. Set up the skipper there. Now Bailey towards Hill. He's been told to leave it, I'd say, too, by Nickel. And Nickel's taken the mark. Handball over the top to Vicentin, who was standing there. Goes to Burns. Poor kick in the end. Nobody there. Stefanovski was going to go. Now he does. Handball to the banana. Camerotto can switch play on the outer side if he wants to. And does so. Goes towards Irving and running on at Buckingham. Two of the young guns against Walsh. And coming across there is also Osaka's just on the ground. Irving leads in the race for the footy. Walsh right next to him. Good tussle by the youngsters close to the boundary line. He keeps it in. Buckingham was the only one who kept his feet there. And then he gets slung off. Gets his kick around the corner towards Sheehan. Can't pick it up. He's got Camerotto in support. Pushed off the footy. It's still there on centre wing. Good play by both sides there by the youngsters.
Irving, a youngster, is he?
Yeah. He's only 20.
Okay.
How old do you think he was?
Oh, he's been around a little while.
Yeah, he has.
Played good footy last year.
Yeah, he played
year before.
He certainly has. And here he is again. He can't pick the footy up on this occasion. And the Magpies can take it away now through Jones, who gets a succession of handballs and then gets it over the top. Good play too. He's going to. He's at 50. He'll have to go now. That's Gibbs.
And missed.
I think he's just missed. So that's Daniel Gibbs, number 13.
I tell you what, I'm a bit interested in this young fella, Corey Pickersgill. I think he's done quite a few good things in the last 2 quarters. He just kind of lets himself down a little bit with his delivery. He gets the ball all right, but then gets a little bit lost with what he wants to do with it. Reuter makes himself available and takes a chest mark across the half-back line, looking down the commentary side wing, but the ball goes astray, can't be picked up there by the Maggies. Ball comes out to the eastern suburbs. Pickersgill, the man I was just talking about, takes the ball and kicks it down where Loughton has taken basically an uncontested mark just outside 50. Well, that's a bit indifferent. I thought the ball was thrown back to him behind where he actually marked it, but our good friend, the man in white, has said, no, I've blown a mark there, so come back over the mark and we'll take the kick. Loughton, outside 50, bit of an angle. The umpy's setting him up for the kick, so
he must
be fairly keen.
he must think he's going to kick it. Loughton, Sheridan gave him the lead. O'Leary's one out in the square with Lewis, who's been moved down there with Harrington being moved up the ground. Have no idea. Loughton from 50. Gives it. Oh well, it's a spiral torpedo punt that lands in the square. A couple of North Geelong players.
Oh, nearly
mess it up. And
O'Leary, nearly.
Still in the 10-metre square. O'Leary had a shot for goal. It was partly smothered.
Well done, North Geelong, there to bottle that in. It was, I think, a chance gone begging.
So it's going to be a ball up.
Sean O'Leary getting up like he might have cramps.
Yeah, runs in the O'Leary family. Oh, it comes to him now. I bet you won't have cramp now if he kicks the goal. He's missed. One behind. 5 goals, 2 for Spike. And they're 13-12-90. Eastern Suburbs, North Geelong 7-12-54. So the kick in will be by Gibbs. From fullback for the Magpies at the southern end of Osborne Park. Bathed in sunshine this afternoon. Fantastic day for footy. Pretty good kick too to Skinny Burns, and Mark Burns takes it at half back. Directs playing towards Haruska, who has to run back with the flight of the footy. There's Loughton again. He seems to be everywhere. He waits for Bailey to run off the half back line and measures the pass towards Reuter and the smaller Lockwood. And you'd back Lockwood most occasions. Reuter just gives him a push, and it's going to be a throw in. And the old stager gets up. The big ruckman. Get back there to do the ruck work against Weiss. And Reuter in front, takes it out. Fresh air shot, pushed off by Jones into Vong to Pickerskill. Oh, got wrapped up by a couple and then dropped the footy, did he?
Yeah,
yes,
caught.
he did.
Yep.
And that's advantage. Lockwood got away from a couple of Eagles and runs away now. Goes on his right boot, measures the pass. Good kick too towards Vicenton and takes a good mark. Handball quickly to Daniel Gibbs. Knew he was going to get wrapped up, so pushed in front of him. Good play, youngster. Handball. Oh, he's going to set another task. He's ripped off the footy by Buckingham. And the Eagles are going to be able to get away from this from the back line. Oh, sets it up for Camerotto. Has to go against Lockwood. Takes the mark. Good experience from Camerotto. Goes inboard towards Sheehan and Peters. And goes past Sheehan. Shorty ducks the head, does he? Oh, he did, and got a free kick. It's advantage paid. Sheehan now runs on, tries to measure the pass towards Sheridan. He'll work. Oh, good play. Gibbs backed himself and went at it. Hill gets around him, doesn't get around Sheridan though. Dropped the footy. Sheehan's there. Quick kick out of the pack. O'Leary he has to stand. Lewis coming back. O'Leary in front. Lewis keeps his feet. O'Leary doesn't. And Brett Lewis will have a bit of time now. Oh, and then got into a bit of trouble, but kicks it away. And good kick too in the end. Hannison can stand there and take the mark. In front of Elfie Delamonica. In between the back pocket and half back.
Intervong off for a bit of a rest, and Gemmell coming onto the ground.
Well, that was all right then. It ended up with Key. Oh, and then he threw the ball away, got it back himself, runs past the umpire, uses him as a shepherd, goes short towards Burns. Him and Pickerskill. Burns doesn't keep his feet. Pickerskill does. And then keeps him in front. Can't keep it in front now because Burns, good harassment by him. Then, it just plays with it a bit, then throws it out the back. But Walsh has to go on hands and knees. He can push it back towards Burns and Naylor. Naylor's there, runs through without the footy. Buckingham. Shepherds, then over the top of the ball. Good little handball to Camerotto. He services Reuter, the big man. Goes around the corner. And Loughton in front. Can he take the mark? Yeah, of course he can. And Loughton takes it outside. 50 and a half forward. Sheridan gives him the lead. He goes in that direction. And O'Leary in front. Can't take the mark. Hill at the front to Rove. Also Hannison and Lewis. Good play. Backs himself. Takes a bounce. Oh, then loses the footy. And it ends up in Hill's hands. He can go over the top towards O'Leary. And also Peters. Peters does that. Shepherding again. Yes, he does. And it's a free kick to Jones. Darryl Jones in the last line defence, just shepherded out there by Shorty. And umpire Hillgrave picked it out on that occasion. O'Leary, that's Sean, very groggily gets up. Gingerly, he's up though, goes to Weiss at centre half back for the Magpies. Directs play into the middle, need 2 hands there, Osakis. Only went with 1, then he has to try and double back. Falls to Reuter, can he get the hands out? He tried to, he saw Camerotto in his vision, but couldn't get it out to him. And it's out towards Buckingham now. Free kick though, found. And it's going to go against the Eagles, and it's going to go to Osakis in the middle of the ground. A young boy from North Shore. And playing in the seniors here. And we see Sean O'Leary coming off, so they'll be full of O'Learys down here soon.
Oh, I think Mick's ready to go back on. He's tonguing at the bit.
Well, goes towards centre half forward for the Magpies. Ferguson's there for the Eagles. Falls to the back of the pack. And bottled up umpire Pretlove to come in. See Graham coming in onto the ground for O'Leary, that's Sean, and he's going down to the forward line next to Sheridan, as it's It's thrown up at centre half forward for the Magpies. Comes towards the back of the pack and Camerotto. Over the shoulder, no free kick. It's going to be a ball up once again at centre half back. It's 13-12-90 Eastern Suburbs, North Geelong 7-12-54. So 6 goals the difference. The Magpies need a couple of quick ones. Back in the contest. Nobody in the ruck contest got an effective tap. Camerotto got an effective kick though towards Reuter. Went with one hand. Couldn't get it. Goes towards Weiss. Needs a quick handball out. Chopped off by Buckingham. His kick across the ground in the centre. And Gemmell. He's got Peters in support. And Shorty. Can he beat Jones? He's got Delamonica in support. But Jones, look at him. Knew where the footy was. Turn around the corner. Camerotto. Can he take the mark? Oh, yes, he can. Good mark too. Finger tipper. Takes it at centre half back for the Eagles. Got Ferguson running past. Oh, and then it was a poor handball. Scotty really wasn't looking. Burns underneath the pack. Camerotto knows he has to go back and work, and he knows that he muffed that one and holds the footy under his arm. He's not too happy with his efforts there. But
you really couldn't say Scotty was moving too fast for the handball.
No, that's right. Falls towards Delamonica, who kicks towards centre wing, and Peters uses the body. Look at that little nudge there on Walsh. That was very good. Handball to Gemmell running past. Classy bit of play. Goes long towards Graham, and a punch away there by Lewis. Coming out, Gibbs. Was going to go right, then went left. Goes towards Loughton. Can handball, but gets around on his left. Goes with the left foot kick. Hill, if it bounces for him, and it will. He's got Graham and Sheridan there in support. But good play, Brett Lewis getting across there and bottling it up in the right back pocket for the Magpies. It's going to be a ball up. Just about 20 metres out from the Eastern Suburbs goal. They lead by 6, 13-12 to 7-12. Ball up. Sheridan straight through the middle. Keeps it in front of him. Then Walsh chops it off for the Magpies. Gets it out only as far as Loughton. He stands. Blind turn. Goes with the left boot back into the pocket. And it's going to be out of bounds just next to the behind post. He continues to play well, Brent Loughton.
Yes, he does. He does. Again, I think they've tried several players on him, and it's probably come down to the fact North Geelong might not have anyone left over to be able to man him up.
Well, Sheridan in the ruck work only gets as far as the North Geelong defence, who was standing in front. Walsh. His handball chopped off by Peters, and a good shepherd by Buckingham. Oh, Pickersgill left it behind and didn't back up. Then Weiss overruns it as well. Reuter, big thump, 2 thumps off the ground, back towards Hruska. At centre half back, good, measured pass to Burns, who can run away and get his kick away just as Irving got him. And he goes towards half forward, but chopping that off is Shane Evans at centre half back for the Eagles. Goes wide towards Irving. He takes the mark uncontested. Kick around the corner towards Camerotto. Good vision and good kicking too. Good kicking skills, and now Irving's down with cramp as well. Goes out wide towards Gemmell. Takes the mark. At half forward, Chris Gemmell. Loughton gives him a lead. If he's got any brains, he should go in that direction because he's been marking everything inside. He comes out. Oh, he can't get it this time, but his second effort was pretty good. But then Walsh breaks away for the Magpies, goes wide to Vicenten, who has to sit there and wait, take the mark. He does so on centre wing. Plays on quickly. Weiss ducks for him so he can kick towards Nickel. Can't take the mark. Should have probably. Delamonica roves off the back of the pack. Elfie goes towards centre half forward. Good kick. Hill stood his ground. Well, Burns, not happy, and 50. You can't say that to the upbeat. And that's going to be Andy Hill on the goal line, I would think, Millie. And,
I don't really know that Hill had control of the ball.
Neither do I.
But that, that aside, the discipline of giving away 50 metres is a bit ordinary.
I think that was the thing. I know Mark was probably a little bit upset, but probably did a little bit more vocally than he should have.
50 metres from 50 metres out is probably a walking offence.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, but it's a goal too, that's the problem. Hill kicks his first. And they're 14-12-96. Well... Well, if he had said the F word, Brett, he probably would have been off the ground. Well, it's too late now because he's given away the 50 and the goal.
It was interesting. Brett made a comment there that he didn't in not Hill's defence, in Burns' defence. He didn't really swear. He just used a certain person's name, and I can remember up north that was done Only problem was the umpire was a minister, so it didn't go down very well.
14-12-96 Eastern Suburbs, North Geelong 7-12-54, back in the centre. Burns, can he make amends for it? Marnie's there also over the top of the footy. Camerado straight through. And
Marnie's just back on the ground too.
yeah, Marnie is on the ground. Now, who's free is it? It's going to go to
Burns,
North Geelong.
if he's up to it.
Yeah. Camerado ran through him like a steam train there, trying to get through the pack and with the ball. And Burns is not looking too good. So Jones will take it for him. As he's still hunched over on centre wing, goes towards centre half forward. Big pack, Evans. And at the front of the pack, Gemmell. His handball is poor, so he has to go back and help himself, which he does. Stefanovski wide towards Irving. And if it sits for him, he could be in here. Hanussen comes at him. He keeps it in front of him and throws it over the top of Hanussen in the end. Goes with the right boot. Hruska against Loughton, and then getting back there also Jones, buttering up across half back. Gets the kick away. Sheehan chops it off and takes the mark. Sheehan, kicks a rainmaker. Goes high towards Loughton and Sheridan. Loughton, Gibbs behind. Fresh air shot by him. Sheridan pushes him off the footy. Then good play. Stands in the tackle. Gets it back. Oh, that's a goal. That's a great goal too. And I think it might have been Andy Hill again.
Yeah, it was.
So Andy Hill kicks his second. And running away with it a bit here, Eastern Suburbs. 15-12, 102. They lead North Geelong 7-12, 54.
Well, I think we said that a bit earlier when we were talking in the pre-match that the sides are fairly even on their day, but I think Eastern Suburbs have got a couple of guys that will stand up a little better over 4 quarters. It is only early in the year, so you know, as long as we can have guys like Sheridan and Camerado stand up for 4 quarters, they're always going to be a fairly strong side.
So it's 15-12, 102 Eastern Suburbs. North Geelong 7-12, 54. So it's 8 goals of difference now. Back in the centre, Reuter gets the tap down again. Buckingham comes from centre half forward, can't take the ball with him. Lewis, handball out wide towards Harrington, can't take it with him. Buckingham gets it back towards Gemmell. Little left foot kick around the corner is very intelligent. Gets it towards Irving. Gets away from Lewis. Left foot kick back in towards the corridor. Can't get there as Graham. Pushed out towards Buckingham again, who gets a little toe poke off the ground and butters it up again. So he's worked hard across half forward there. Harrington will just be happy to see it over, I think. Irving's there close to the boundary line. On hands and knees. Handball back towards Buckingham, who's got a few possessions in the last 30 seconds. Gets it over the top to Peters, who runs away at 55. Little left foot kick over the shoulder towards Heel and Key. At the back of the pack now, North Geelong. Oh, handball chopped off. Lux of Fortune came back to Gibbs, and Burns is going to be able to break away. He hasn't got much to kick to, though. Has to measure the pass and does so. Jones runs away from Reuter. Goes to the left boot. Long towards Gibbs and Evans. Evans does well, then Gibbs first there. Can he handball? He should have. He does now. He heard the call from Jones. He got it to him, and he takes a bounce. Darrell on the little left foot kick. Wide towards Naylor. And it's out of bounds on the full. The goal umpire has actually called that. And it will be a free kick to Eastern Suburbs. Pickersgill off and O'Leary back on. And the free kick will be with Scotty Ferguson in the last line defence for the Eagles. He kicks now towards centre half back. Peters from behind. He loves those big marks, but he can't take it on this occasion. Reuter does the roving and goes towards Loughton. Good punch away by Hruska, but good second effort. Loughton again. Left foot kick around the corner. Oh, Graham. He's got a couple of metres on Osakis. Drops the mark. Needed it too. Osakis does well to get back there, and he's got some support, Gibbs. And we'll see it through for a rush behind. So it's 15-13, 103 to 7-12, 54. And thank goodness you're giving up that habit on Monday, Peter.
Nothing like a good burst lung in the middle of a call.
Kick in by Gibbs to Vicenton, goes well, and then over the top to Marnie. Does it sit for him? Yes, it does, but he has to get around Sheehan, and he gets the handball away. Pretty good in the end. Weiss goes towards Reuter, just throws it out to Camerado. He got one high, then got another one high, and then just rode both and gave it to Bailey, and gets the kick away. Long towards Graham, and good mark over the back. Marcus. He goes towards Lockwood. Lockwood runs on and gets it away. Good kick too towards Jones. The old stager doing all right this third term.
He's doing very well this quarter.
And
not getting much help though.
No, him and Burns being the two prime movers. They need a bit of support around midfield. Jones goes long. Ferguson from behind. Nickel in front. got to be played on there. Both got a hand to it. Sheehan runs through. That's Troy. Then gets it only as far as it comes back to Gemmell. Handball to Delamonica. They just seem to have the numbers across half-back. Kick wide towards Buckingham. Harrington against him. Buckingham does well. Pushes it away from Harrington. And Irving's there to butter up. Goes inboard towards Hill. And also Sheridan coming at pace. Breaks the tackle. Turns around on the right boot. Goes across half forward. O'Leary. And Houston goes and for the mark. Drops it. Second effort needs to be there. He's got some support. And there is the siren for three-quarter time. And at three-quarter time, it's Eastern Suburbs 15-13, 103. And they lead North Geelong 7-12, 54 in that quarter. Eastern Suburbs kicked 5 goals, 3. North Geelong could only manage 1 goal, 2. The goal kickers to three-quarter time for Eastern Suburbs. Sean O'Leary has 5, Brent Loudon has 4, and 2 each to Paul Camerotto, Andrew Hill and Adam Sheridan, while for North Geelong, Corey Lockwood has 3, and singles to Chris Fowler, Stuart Marnie, Ricky Vicentin, Brett Lewis and James Naylor. So it's 8 goals the difference at three-quarter time, and a pretty good third term there from the Eastern Suburbs side, and it is 8 goals the difference.